My computer keeps restarting. That's that bullshit I'm talking about.
Studying in Ghana.
She's talking about like retaking the SAT, and I'm like, nigga, what? I don't even know what I got on my SAT. Like,
clap.
Oh wait, fuck. There we go. That was louder.
Yeah, you got the.
I got that.
We'll do the the clap, like 1, 2, 3, like, and then the guest got to do it too. There you go.
Damn.
I got that dad clap.
Damn. Low key.
All right. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Bull City Pioneers podcast. My name is Hector.
My name is Luis.
And today we got another guest. Really excited for this guy. Really.
Should I say my name?
Forward. No, you gotta introduce yourself.
I
Introduce
do?
yourself to the pioneers. Yeah, pioneer. I keep messing that up, dude. I need to get more used to it. Right, we're trying to get in the habit of calling our guests pioneers instead of
that's
guests.
ill. That's ill.
Yeah. So
what's up, pioneers? I'm AJ The Menace. I am the owner of the Menace Material entertainment brand. We do podcasting, music, clothing at some point this year. We're literally gonna do fucking everything. So yeah, we do it all, yo. We trying to put this whole thing together.
AJ The Menace should not be, y'all should be. Well, he's a little familiar because we were on the 3 Oak podcast.
Yes.
Not too long ago. So he's been on the podcast page a couple times. Yeah. So he's definitely familiar.
Yeah, but we finally got to get him on here.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, it's been a good minute. It's been in the works.
It has.
Killing
the ants.
But tell us a little bit about yourself, AJ. Like how did this brand come to be, or what was the spark that captured
all right, so I was just
Menace Material or the
AJ.
I guess we'll go one at a time.
Yeah,
do one at a time. Okay, yeah. I can start with my name, like the music part. Yeah. So like the music part started back in college. I never did any music in high school at all. Okay. I didn't even know anybody that did music until, actually I knew people that did music. It was just so bad, like it was trash. But shout out to my boy Weston though. He was one of the few people that I ever knew that did music back in high school. RIP, he actually passed away, but Weston Vandermeer, yo, he had this song called Cash. That's what I be about. Grams, dog, I just had him out. I got what you need. Yo, shout out to Weston, yo. RIP to him, yo. Funny. But when I got to college though, that's where I met Leon. And I met like a lot of my friends that I have right now. I met in that first year of college at Wake Tech. Okay. And then Leon was doing music, and that was when he was on he wasn't even really recording too crazy, but he had done it before. Mm-hmm. But he was and then I had another boy named Swain. He did music a lot. He did it a lot and was fire at it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so those are two of my best friends at the time, and that was the first time I was around people that did music. One time we were at Swain's house, and it was me, Leon, and Swain. And we did this song called Arrowroot beat was by MF Doom. Leon and Swain were writing a verse, and my boy Swain was like, yo, you're not leaving until you write a verse. Bruh. So, yeah. So that was the first verse I ever wrote, called Arrowroot.
Yeah, you just got pressured into it.
I got pressured into it, yeah. And it's I always love hip hop and stuff and music, but I never had the urge to do it. Yeah, and I never even had the urge to do it. I just listening to it. I never thought I'd be the rapper or whatever, but yeah, so I did that, and then I might have done one other verse that year, maybe. Mm. Then I just didn't do anything at all. And then me and Leon actually became roommates when we got an apartment. And then he would start doing more tracks, and he started putting together his project called The Reservation. Mm. But just hanging out with him, I was starting to do more music because he was doing music all the time. Of course,
yeah. Wait, so when did that come? The Reservation came out when y'all were still in college?
We were at Wake Tech still, yeah.
What year was that?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
I graduated 2008, so then I started fall of 2008. 08 and 09 was fall.
Tell me how I thought this whole time that stuff was a lot more recent, bro.
Yeah. Nah, bro. We old as hell.
So one day, I posted the song, playing the song in the background in one of my stories on IG, and then Leon reposted saying, "Oh man, good old times." And in my head, I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, bro. We're talking 10 years ago, yo.
Damn, that's crazy.
But
it's crazy.
We're talking 9 years ago. I wrote my first verse, and it was probably that year of 2008. So 10 years ago was my first verse.
Bruh.
Wow.
And
dang.
I started writing more verses in 2009, and then 10, I think maybe 2010 is when 2011 is probably when The Reservation came out. And I had two verses on there, and I had done verses here and there just for fun, because at that point we had met Mitty, our producer. He started making original beats for us, and Lauren was on like a run, just doing Shakedown Street, Berkeley Cafe when that was around. He might have even done a show or two at the Poorhouse, but he was doing like the show circuit run, like you know what I mean, like like you know, if there's a local show, he was probably booked at it, you know, like. So I would get performance time with him doing my verse, and then he after he you know finished the run on that. He was such a good momentum. I was like, yo, I might as well like put together a project to help keep the momentum together. So I put together my first project and only project to date called Procrastination at Its Finest.
Wow.
And
the name is cool.
It was called Procrastination at Its Finest. And it's funny because Mitty didn't even think we were going to get it done. I had like 80% of the project done already.
Wow.
Dang.
And I was like, all the verses written, I just needed to record it. And I was like, all right, Mitty, all I need is an intro, outro, and a single.
Yeah. Shout outs to him too.
Yeah,
he's all the way in Cali, ain't he?
He's all the way in Cali, yeah. Shout out to Mitty, he's in Cali. So yeah, he's the one that did the intro, outro, and one or two singles. No, intro, outro, and Do You Mind. That was like the single.
Okay.
And that was like when like AJ The Menace was born. And at the same time, because my first name back in 2009 was Mr. Cheek, because that's my mom's maiden name and that's my last name. So it was like Mr. Cheek. No, it was AJ Cheek. That's it. And then,
so you like AJ doesn't stand for like middle.
That's my middle. First and middle is AJ. The J is my middle name. My last name was Cheek. So it just was AJ Cheek first, and then it became AJ The Menace like right after that.
Oh, okay.
And then what happened? Yeah, we put that project out. Oh, the reason Menace Material was born in that moment as well, because as the project is done, I'm doing promotion for the project. I'm trying to get booked at all the same connections that I had met with Leon on the shows that he did. For some reason, nobody would book me. Nobody.
Dang.
Like, I mean, I'm pulling up in person. I'm like, yo, you know, I used to perform with Leon all the time. I mean, these motherfuckers know me. You know what I mean? Like, like I know you through him kind of thing, you know? And it's like, nobody would book me. So I was like, okay, so I'll just create something called Menace Material. And I'll just talk to the... Yeah, and I'll do my own shit. And I just started talking to venues. And I went to Black Flower. That was my first show. My first show I put on by myself. The first show after the project came out. And I did the mixtape release party there.
Wow.
And we had like 80 people out on like a Tuesday night. And I was like,
that's a good
night.
And then we got paid, and I got paid that night. So I was like, man, fuck. Yeah, I was like, because I made all the money off the door. I booked the venue, and I made money off the door. And I was like, bro, I ain't about to be messing with these like little shows, you know what I mean? Not when I can get paid from this. So
True.
I started doing one show every single month for like a year straight, maybe a year and a half.
Man. And did the number increase or did it?
Like, the number would increase. So then we moved venues too. We were at Black Flower twice. Then we went over to Havoc, which was called Havoc, which is on Glenwood, and then it got turned into Eden. But we were killing Eden. We were killing Havoc, yo. Like they loved like shout out to AJ. He was the guy that owned it. He owned the corner store that was next to it. But we started doing shows there, and that's how Menace Material became a thing. I started putting T-shirts out back then. I had one T-shirt release before.
Yeah,
and that's how
I wanted to talk about that. Like I saw a picture on your IG that you were wearing like a shirt with like some kind of like cartoonish. Is that like you?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember the first time.
Yeah, that's like vintage now. Like I maybe have like.
Maybe you should do like a revamp of that.
I could do I could easily do a revamp. Yeah, and I might have like a couple left, like mediums and smalls.
Or like do like
the.
Or like once it gets big and stuff.
Exactly.
Like can buy the OGT or something.
Exactly.
Like that,
yeah, because that's like that shit. That shit's
like
rare now. Yeah, like especially once we start putting new. Because I got a new logo and all type of stuff. Yeah. This isn't the first logo. This is the second one.
Oh, really?
There was one that had Menace Material spelled out, and it just had a slingshot separating the words.
Oh.
And that was the first one. Super basic.
Yeah.
Just Menace, Slingshot Material. Then this one was created. Shout out to Ruben Rodriguez. He's the one that made this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He made this.
I love all his stuff.
I actually have two. I actually have two versions of the logo. So I have this one, and then I have another version that goes on like official stuff. This is like the play logo, and then there's like the official logo.
So, you said that y'all took like a little break. I know when we had the 3 Oak podcast. Yeah. So what created the friction, and then what created the let's go full throttle again? What
doing the podcast?
No, the music in general for you. Because you said, y'all stop it for a little bit and then y'all...
Yeah, so you know what happened is...
now y'all are going, full throttle,
Yeah,
great,
pretty much,
great,
yeah. So what happened was it was like life stuff happened. So like I used to sell like bud all the time. My house got raided.
Oh, shit.
I had like a 5-year run that came to an end. That was followed by like a 2-year recovery period where like...
Did you have to get...
I sound like an addict or some shit.
Did you get locked up?
No, I was in jail for like 4 or 5 hours, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. But that's about it. But I got 2 felonies in the process. I got them beat though. But yeah, it was just like life shit, paying for lawyer fees, paying for my door to get replaced because they kicked that shit in. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Damn.
I moved back home with my mom after that happened. Then my mom got a job in Jersey, so then I moved out to Durham with my friend, and then he got married, so then I had to move to Mebane. Mebane, because I had nowhere to go. Yeah, I've been all over the area because I had money. I was saving to buy a house, but I didn't want to. When I realized I had to move out of his house because he was getting married, I didn't want to spend, use that money that I had saved to put down on like a deposit and stuff because it would have just completely killed it for a whole year. Then I'd been paying like crazy rent.
Yeah.
So I met somebody at my job. They were like, I live in Mebane. It's like $600 for like a 2-bedroom townhouse.
Yeah.
But so I was like, all right, I'll just go there. It's just a 50-minute drive to work now. So I did that I did that for 8 months. And then I finally came back to Raleigh. And I was like, okay, finally, like I'm here again. You know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't even here. Like, I had so much stuff going on, just like stress going through that point. You know what I mean? That I wasn't even thinking about making no music. And then during this time, and then I got a job working at an office. The first time I ever had an office job. That's when I got into podcasting. Because my job that I worked at.
Yeah. What piqued your interest in that? Like, what told you like, hey,
it was the office environment. So like. The office environment I worked in, nobody talked to each other. Like, it was just like a straight up
cubicles. Like you stay in your cubicle.
It was cubicles, but they weren't the tall ones. They were like I could still see you.
Oh, like, so they were
they were like the half height cubicles. Yeah.
Nobody's talking to each other.
But nobody's talking to each other. Like half the people have headphones on, and then the other. The person right behind you, and you're not turning around to talk to them. You're just gonna Skype them.
Yeah.
Just like instant message them in the job. So it's like. Everybody had headphones on that day, so I listened to music all the time. And then once you run out of music to listen to, I found podcasting. That was when I found I was into the Breakfast Club, really heavy, watching those interviews. And then I started, Charlamagne the God had one, his podcast, The Brilliant Idiots. So that's where it started, Brilliant Idiots. Yeah. Then the Brilliant Idiots and pretty much all the podcasts I listened to have been stemmed off that, like Charlamagne the God or like Brilliant Idiots. So
especially like the topics and stuff that you talk about.
Exactly.
Like
so
you
it's
gain inspiration.
Exactly. So it's like I watched the Brilliant Idiots. They had a guy named Taxstone on. Taxstone started a podcast, so I started listening to Tax Season. Joe Budden has a podcast now. I listen to him. Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club has a podcast. I listen to hers.
Dang,
There's
they all got their own.
Yeah, everybody has their own thing. DJ Envy actually has a podcast now. It's about like marriage and couples. It's him and his wife. I don't listen to that because I'm not married, so it probably wouldn't work for me. But that's how I started listening to podcasts, and then I put so many hours into listening to podcasts. When you think about it, I'm listening to people talk. Entertaining, but I'm listening to people talk 8 hours a day, bro. What the fuck am I doing listening to this when I can just do it myself?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what made me just be like, all right, I'm gonna start a podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we started doing the podcast. The podcast has been going for like a year now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's funny because nobody gave a fuck about the podcast.
Really?
Nobody cared. People care.
I feel like that's kind of like the attitude. Not give a fuck.
And maybe not. They
approach it like that.
And it's not even that they don't care. It's just they just watch. I feel like a lot of people are waiting for you to fail.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are sitting back like, oh yeah, he started that little cute thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah. That's
because no lie, bro, we did 40 episodes, 47 technically, but 40 episodes that are numbered or whatever, and maybe episode 41, the numbers went through the fucking roof, bro. Right. Like. We went from 18 listeners to 30 on a good week to on the low. We can get 5 people in 1 week sometimes. You know what I mean? For almost a whole year, bro.
Damn.
40 weeks, yo.
Dang. Yeah,
47 weeks, really. And all of a sudden, at episode 41, it was 150.
Oh,
I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
That happened?
Then the next week, it was 200. And the week after that, it was 250. And then it dropped down to 50 again. And I was like, okay, what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then that was just a bad week, I think. And then it just peaked. It hasn't been lower than 250 to 300 a week since.
Wow.
Yeah. On a good, if we do really good that week, we'll get like 550 listens.
Yeah. And you said you usually get recognized sometimes.
I started doing a lot of Instagram promotion, like local ones, like for the area. You know how you can like set the little map thing. You know, like the 25-mile radius when you do a paid promotion. Have y'all ever done the paid promotion? You can set the map for like 25 miles. Every time I would go downtown Raleigh for a while, and still now I haven't done them in a while, but when I was doing those promotions, people would be like, I watch your podcast, bro. And I always think it's funny because people watch the clips on Instagram. They don't listen to the podcast. But they say,
I like your podcast.
But they say, I watch the podcast all the time. But they're literally just watching those 1-minute clips we post every week.
You're like, that's not the podcast.
Yeah, but I'm like, make sure you follow though. Like, I need you to, you know, I know you enjoyed the clips. Please listen to the whole thing. But they either say, they either look at me, you know, somebody recognizes you when they give you a strange face and they won't break their eye contact. So they're like, and I'm like, I've learned to like get used to it. And I'm like, and then some of them will come up and be like, you do that podcast, right? Or some of them will say, you're the guy in that room with the green lockers. And I'm like, yes, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Everybody recognizes the lockers. They either recognize me or the lockers.
The lockers.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the podcast has been going great. So we just still doing the podcast. But the reason we got back into the music was because building a fan base around a podcast is a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
But I forgot how powerful the music was, and I listened to a Rick Ross interview on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how, and one of his new artists was there, and they were talking about how he would make them record for weeks at a time. Like nobody leaves the studio.
Oh shit!
Like we don't enjoy anything because everything that we've built, this empire that you see, these Rolls Royces, these mansions, everything that you see, the only reason we have it is because we made quality music. So that's the foundation. That's the foundation for everything. I don't care how rich I get. I will lock myself in here for 2 months if I need to, come up with 30 to 40 hot records and go for the next year. You know what I mean? Off of those 30 to 40 hot records. So it's like, I forgot, and then we started just dropping little freestyles, like the 3 Oak freestyle. And I just saw just the numbers just go crazy. You know what I mean? Like, people in my DMs all crazy, like, bro, when are you coming back, bro? This is crazy. Like, when are you coming back? We need music. And I was like, it's like people will fiend more for the music than the podcast, which is understandable because the podcast is such a smaller range. You know, like millions and millions of people listen to this. I would say billions of people like music, but millions like podcasts. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can build
something that's kind of like just barely breaking.
I mean, let's be honest, the whole world listens
exactly.
to
music. It's trillions of
but
people.
Like,
Culture.
I don't know what fraction of the world actually listens to a podcast, because I mean, it's a fairly new thing.
It's kind of a fairly new thing. It's millions of people though, because I mean the big wigs podcast, they're doing like Joe Rogan will do 4 podcasts a week. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, no structure, just fucking talking. And do 500,000 each one.
Oh.
So you're pulling in 2 million views a week. You know what I mean? If you drop 4 of those,
oh, man.
he's doing 1.5 plus every week in just listens and video content, just off him talking.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's like, same with the Brain Idiots. They clocking in around 250 to 300 to 500,000 a week.
Dang.
And the thing that I like about the podcast is that I'm compared to the music I can express myself like really well. But the thing with the podcast is that it's easier to express myself. We can talk like this. You know what I mean? So like, if you fuck with me on this level, of course, if I put out decent, I can just put average music out and you'll like it. You know what I mean? Because think about how many people win off of trash music. So if you like me as a person, just like Cardi B. Now Cardi B, we like her music too, though. But think about how much they fuck with Cardi B.
Just because
just who she is. You know what I mean? So the fact that she has good music on top of that, we champion it twice as more.
There you go.
So it's like, that's why I like that's why I really enjoy the podcast, and I don't see that going anywhere, because it's like, no matter what, it's like, if you like me, I'm gonna put something out of quality, and you'll probably like that too. And then when all this music fails, because this music is a young man's game too, you know, I probably got 5 to 7 years left. You know what I mean? When it comes to like my prime, maybe Jay-Z and all of them. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like,
when it comes to music,
just and it could be all around look and physique and you know what I mean, stuff like that. But like, you know, like they want you to have like a good look. You know what I mean? Like,
it don't matter though.
There's no 40-year-old popping off, dropping no Jay-Z bars that we're running to. You know what I mean?
True. Wait, how old is DJ Khaled?
DJ Khaled's 40, but he's a producer though.
Oh, there you go.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we're talking the rapper.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, Rick Ross, those are like the few that are just still out here really killing it. E40.
You're right.
You know what I mean? It's not, so it's like I need to make sure my foot is cemented in my 20s. So that by the time I'm done, I was like, whatever. I do a podcast every week. At that point, I should be doing 500,000 views a week, right?
You got time to like work on other stuff too.
I got time to. I got time to develop artists. Like that's my real goal.
And just because you're not at your prime anymore in music doesn't mean you can't still be involved in music.
Exactly. That might not be my prime. That's not even my career prime. Maybe music wise, but then I have like a whole business prime.
You can. There you go.
That there's no like real like image that you have to uphold.
Exactly. As
so
long as the move is good, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's like if I have a talent for making music, and I can make stuff that people can rally behind. There's no point in me letting it go to waste. I might as well use that as my springboard to the next level that I want to be at, which is the CEO, mogul, artist developer and things like that. Because I would really love to get into that, like artist development for real. But nobody, I'm not signing nobody. I haven't made it. You know what I mean? Like people want to get down. Like people have hit me up like, yo, I want to be an artist on Menace Material. I'm like, bro, I don't want you to just sign and just wear a logo. That doesn't mean nothing. Like I want to be able to like develop you, and I'm not popping yet, bro. You know what I mean? Like
you want to give them some
there's only so much
stuff.
I can show you. You know what I mean? Like because I'm learning literally everything off the rip, off the fucking cuff.
I mean, that's
we freestyling everything, and we're able to rally people behind the freestyle.
There you go.
So it's all time, though.
It's all time. Yeah, there you go. It will come.
It's gonna come at some point.
For a fact.
But with the podcast, you have mentioned, like, especially on the last episode, you guys dropped some big news on that you guys said.
Go ahead. You want to say? Go ahead. We're taking a break.
That you guys are like gonna take a break from the podcast. So you want to give us a little bit of like backstory on that? And stuff? Like what you guys planned?
So main reason was what we were actually talking about that we're taking like a break is because everything that y'all have seen Menace Material do, no matter how organized and calculated it looks, has been freestyle. Like you know what I mean? Like
that's kind of the same thing for us.
It's like we're taking freestyles and trying to polish those shits and just like develop and like put them out as major motion pictures. And we've been doing a decent job at it. I just know I can do better. And I feel like I've slacked at my age of not doing it at a better job, even though I've done it pretty well. But I need a break because it's hard to tweak things while they're running. You know what I mean? Like computer issues. Like now we're moving at a level where it's like I need to pump more content out. I have 100 more ideas. We're doing the ticket giveaway. My computer restarted 3 times while I was trying to edit that just now before y'all got here.
Dang.
You know what I mean? Like I'm in the middle of editing, adding people's names, and editing this video. It restarts. Now I'm sitting here waiting for it to turn back on, trying to add another piece before it restarts again. Dang. It's just frustrating when you
random? Like
it's not even random. It's just I'm giving my computer too much work. Like my computer's not built for it. My computer was a college computer. Like I'm gonna do papers and surf the internet. Now I'm trying to run a production company off of a basic MacBook Pro. That's just not gonna work. I need like a supercomputer. Like so like the stuff we need is like I have to get a new computer. This is crazy. Like so that's pretty much why the break. That's why the break is. It's just frustrating, man. Like. I'll edit everything on the podcast, go to sleep, hit export, go to sleep, wake up in the morning. The video was never exported because the computer restarted at 50%. Just take frustration to another level. You know what I mean? Like, and I just got to take a break, get some new equipment, get some things straight.
Marketing for the good.
It's all a good.
A hell of a lot smoother for
it's so like when because like right now it's almost become like I enjoy it, but it's like. The work behind it is the burden just because the equipment isn't cooperating with what I need to do. You tell the computer to do something, it won't do it. That shit makes you...
And we go through... Hector, he goes through the same shit too.
It's frustrating.
My computer can't really handle like the... Like when I'm editing the podcast video and stuff like the frame rate it like lags the whole time and I have to like render it each like 5 seconds just to make sure my edit is correct. And
it's
stuff,
so
like, all
frustrating. It's so frustrating, bro. When you're trying to do something and your computer's like fuck no. You know what I mean?
Like, at the end of it, you're like, dang. That weight off my shoulders is gone.
Exactly.
It feels good to have gotten it done.
And I'm so like excited, like thinking about the like in the next month when I get this new computer. and I do something and I'm like, holy shit, it's done. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm done.
Like, done like 2 days early. Like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I can bang everything out in the next hour instead of 6, and then having to restart after I put in 6 hours. It's gonna be lovely. So the break is all for good. We're not like going anywhere, but you know, we just needed that break.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just like us, we're kind of different. We're taking it because of school.
So
you know, take it a little.
Got other priorities and stuff too.
So but yeah, what else do you want to talk about there? Awkward silence.
Well, you want to talk about some the shows that you got coming up with?
Yeah, so
or what you and the podcast are doing. I guess. Well, today is Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, so actually tomorrow. This won't even come out by tomorrow, right?
No, this is because we still have Johnny Part 2.
Gotcha. Okay,
and
so
probably be like the week after that.
Okay, so y'all have already kind of already missed it. It's
Sadly.
whatever. But it's okay because y'all won't miss. By the time this comes out, we will have a Leon Gamble album release or EP release party.
Oh, okay.
So at some point, we're gonna speak this into existence. Wicked Witch is gonna bless us and let us use their venue.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And turn that up.
Where's that at? Is that in Raleigh?
That's off like West Street. Yeah, it's off Raleigh, like right on the edge of Raleigh,
Okay.
near the amphitheater and all that stuff.
All right.
But
That's
by
a nice
time
spot.
so by time this comes out, you know what I mean. We're speaking this to existence. Wicked Witch, the deal have been struck.
There you go.
They'll have us.
I like that.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and give us the night, and we're gonna turn that shit up. So yeah, y'all definitely got to come to that. I have a project coming out, and I have to reformulate things. I don't know if I'm gonna put this project out or I'm gonna just wait until All-Star Week. I got a big idea for All-Star Week. You know, that's in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I have a huge idea for her All-Star Week that has to get done. There's no way I can let All-Star Week pass and not get this idea out that I have.
Are you gonna go down to Charlotte?
Yeah,
Hey.
we're gonna be there for like a week probably.
Okay, cool.
Like
We're trying to go there too. We've been
that-
planning all summer. I want to hit up Charlotte.
Yeah, like that weekend is gonna be insane, bro. Like,
yeah, I bet.
we're talking like North Carolina. We all know how hard it is doing something creatively and actually making out of North Carolina if you're not a force on the internet.
Yeah.
We're talking about everybody who matters is gonna be in our state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody who matters.
Yeah.
is
Wait,
gonna be
when is All-Star Week again?
February next year.
February next year. Okay,
That shit's
cool.
right
Also,
around the
that
corner.
Hey, we
Dreamville
That shit's
Fest
right
too.
around the corner. Dreamville's Fest is coming up. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a lot of promotion to do for that. Like, it's
You
a lot of
you guys are doing something for that too?
we're gonna try. Well, when I'm just saying like promotion, I mean just like the amount of people in one
Just-
place. We're gonna be getting some product off.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
for sure. For a fact.
Like, there should be no reason we don't have like 3,000 flyers passed out and like 3,000 and put them in 3,000 hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's
Yeah, it's
like
gonna be
what
crazy.
when you got that many people in one area, you got to capitalize on that shit.
Hell the fuck
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
shit. Free promotion.
You got to drive them crazy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't even enjoy the night because you out here working.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Fuck yeah.
So
I gotta get my ticket, dude. I got
my tickets. Yeah.
It's $109.
$109.
Yeah.
After the taxes, it's like 125.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, you know, you always got a fee or some shit. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's well worth it for the amount of stuff that's
Yeah,
there.
it's
So-
worth it. I'm like really excited Young Thug's gonna be there. I don't know why, but I fuck with Young Thug heavy, yo.
Yeah.
I like a lot of his songs. Yeah, like I'm of course I love J. Cole, but like I'm ready to see this Young Thug shit.
Wait,
Like,
where's Young Thug from?
Young Thug is from Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
From
but it's
Atlanta.
gonna be over at what's that place called? Dixie Hill or Dixie, whatever that shit's
Oh,
called.
really?
What's it called? Dorothea Dix.
Oh, okay.
Right there off Western Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the festival's gonna be.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be ill, bro.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy.
Shit, it's crazy.
Where are we at right now?
We are at 30 minutes flat.
Oh snap!
I guess just to kind of start wrapping it up. I guess.
Yeah, what you got? Anything else?
Yeah, to like when we start to wrap up the podcast, we like to ask our pioneer
Okay.
to leave a question for the audience. Anything that's been on their mind.
A question
Thought?
for the audience.
Yeah.
Question?
Thought, a quote,
Yeah, there
something.
you go.
Do you guys think Nicki Minaj is over with?
Oh, bro.
Damn!
Yo, I was talking about
Hey,
this.
yo, hey man,
Yo.
hey, when the big dogs have to come down to the small dogs to freaking get their name
Oh
out,
my
yes.
God.
Have you heard the album yet?
I know.
I've
haven't,
heard bits
dude.
and pieces. I have not
I
heard
don't
the
really
whole thing.
listen to her, so.
I don't either, but I will listen to this because I've heard the last projects and I haven't listened to it in its entirety.
I'm gonna be honest
but
with
I've
you.
heard
a
like
bunch of
5.
names
I've
on
heard like
there.
5 songs. I don't know how many is on there, but I've heard like 5 or 6.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like it's gonna be a flop. I feel like it's gonna be. I
So
don't think
I've
it's gonna
heard
be the
some.
best.
I've heard some savage reviews, and then of course I've
Really?
heard the ones where it's like this is fire. But I've heard some like First of all, shout out to journalism. So journalism will do something insane with words. So these are two examples. Leon and Yana Ray just dropped they got to post it on a blog site. And
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And their song was, the wording on it was like beautiful. It was like the way they worded the song, like described what it was about. I was like, damn, this is so beautiful how they put these words. It was like somebody playing the violin, like the way, like, because he was like, bro, I'm copying and pasting this. This is how I'm describing the song if anybody asks about it. Like, it was so good. And then I saw another one about
or something.
Yes, the B-side, yeah. And then I saw one about Nicki Minaj's, and it was like this was a hour long of dreary. I was like, the wording was so savage. I was like,
oh my god,
like it turned me off at first, but then she had that song over the Biggie joint where she like kind of remixed what Biggie did. And she was pretty much talked about R&B chick or R&B, where he was rapping about all the R&B chicks and just people in the industry. She did that about like Young Thug, Tekashi 6ix9ine. She talked about like a lot of people in the industry, and that had a lot of buzz. So that made me listen to a couple songs. And my sister was playing it. I just want to know what the people think, man, because I think she's washed out. I think she's done.
Yeah.
I won't say she's washed, but I think music is over for music. I think it's over for music because we found another female artist whose personality we like more. And it's unfortunate that it doesn't seem like there could be more than one in the game, but that's just how history has kind of proven.
Yeah.
Right? Well, not really, because back in the day,
really
with like Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, they were all like, Lauryn Hill, they were out here doing it together and shit like that. So it's just recently, it seems to be one woman at a time. But it's interesting. It's interesting, like, female rap is such an interesting topic, because
Cardi B is kind of just taking it.
She took everything.
Taking it, man.
And just like female rap, just the history of it and how it went from, it used to be just so many of dope ass female artists to a scarcity of them, and then us only allowing one to prosper at a time. It seemed like, you know what I mean? Like,
crazy.
It's so crazy how it went from like women all over the place in hip hop to one at a time now. And now if there's two, now they have to be compared against each other. You know what I mean? So it's always interesting, and it's like I've fallen into that mind state just off the way the history of hip hop has gone, but it's always interesting to see how people think about Nicki Minaj. But yeah, that's my question for the pioneers.
Okay.
Do y'all think Nicki Minaj is done out here?
Shit.
I think you could probably tell what our answer is.
Yeah. I want to know what they think.
And I don't even listen to her.
She's done for, man. She's done for.
Yeah, I think it might be a rap for her.
It might be a rap. Hey, man, she probably has a couple investments in music, and she'll still make bands.
She'll never go broke.
No, but
when it comes to us caring about it, she hasn't had a hit record in a while. And she's dropped a lot in the last 2 years, like little tracks here and there, and they won't stick, yo.
Yeah, they won't.
It's interesting.
People have spoken.
The people have spoken.
People have spoken.
The people love Cardi.
Yeah.
And they're not like leaving no room for other. They love Cardi and Remy Ma.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just crazy, man.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll
see what happens.
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, y'all.
Let the people know where they can find you, so that way they can leave that answer.
Yeah, facts. So y'all can hit me up on Instagram. That's pretty much where everything is going down. The Menace #4 Real. So the Menace for real, but use the number 4. Literally that's everything. If you type that in, the Menace for real. I'm consistent across all platforms except for the podcast. Of course, it's the 3 Oak Podcast, and use the number 3 instead of the word 3.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, listen to it. We'll be back by time. We'll probably be back in like a week or two by the time this comes out.
Yeah,
really.
Because we'll come back halfway through September. So, we'll be out. We got plenty of content.
Time to listen to all the episodes.
We got literally have 77 episodes for you to listen to.
Wow.
Yeah, you have more than enough content.
Yeah,
you want to give us like a sneak peek of what's gonna happen maybe when y'all get to the 100th episode? Maybe.
Yes, we're gonna do an event.
Ooh.
We're gonna do an event on 100.
You gotta hit us up, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
We gotta go.
We're gonna put together. I'm actually started working on that now, pulling together of a compilation of like my favorite moments and things like that from the podcast. So
cool.
I've been putting that together. So everybody that have been a part of it, like it's gonna be dope. We're definitely gonna do an event. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
And it's funny, like our first event will be at 100, but it took that long just to even like feel like we can do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you said just the IG? No, like Twitter, YouTube, or
it's the same on everything.
On everything?
Yeah, the same.
Okay.
The Menace #4 Real. It's the same on everything.
Okay.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
All
that makes it
platforms.
easy.
I have a question. I have a question for you off camera though. Off camera.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Yeah.
But you guys can leave that answer to that question. What was it? Do you think Nicki Minaj is done for?
Yeah.
Over there. Leave that for AJ.
Yeah, I need that. I need that combo.
Let him know.
Yeah, let me know.
But you guys can also let us know your thoughts as well. What you guys thought of this episode over on RIG at Both City Pioneers. You can also email us at bothcitypioneers@gmail.com for anything you guys want to let us know. Give us feedback, what you guys want to see on the podcast. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for this pioneer to come on.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Hey, and listen to the 3 Oak podcast and the Hectic Wear episode. They're on it. So
yeah.
Listen to our episode. You got the Leon Gamble. You got the AJ The Menace interview. You got the Bull City Pioneers interview. Like, we are across all platforms.
Yeah,
baby.
You guys go back and listen to Leon's interview too on our podcast.
And actually, if this drops before the podcast comes back, send me the audio so I'll put it on the website. I'll put it on the page.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it on the podcast page, like the 3 Oak page.
Okay.
So that everybody, all of our listeners can hear it too.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's it.
This is us. My name is Luis.
My name is Hector.
AJ The Menace.
And we are out.
Peace.
Peace out.
Right on time.